All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and what do I have? I got my BMW back, the Roadster, and I am now, I would say, pretty happy with it. It's got the new clutch, and I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Rob, dropping information on me now, don't make me wait. How much did it cost? I got the car fixed for free. That's good. So, John Norrie over at Broadway Performance, we sort of bartered a little bit of business advice. He also has a rental car company, so I was looking for some information. When I say some information, just some business planning and modeling, and I assisted him with that, and he said he would take care of the clutch on this in exchange for that. So the out-of-pocket cost on this, nothing. I'm very happy to report that, but I do notice some other things that are going to need a little bit of love, and if I want to make this car right, and I haven't even really got to get on it yet, but it's a, I don't know, it's one of those cars that I've liked in theory. I know it's not going to be super fast, but I'm hoping it's a well-rounded package that I'm going to enjoy for a long time, because I bought this car again for $9,500, which is not a lot, and for under $10,000 it's really hard to go wrong. But there are some, like, I didn't expect it to need a clutch right away, and if I had to do the clutch, I would assume that job would have been about $1,500 just right there. John said the rear main seal was leaking, so they took care of that as well, but again, not something I was expecting to do the day I bought the car. This leather here peeling up on the dash, that should be a pretty easy fix. The dashboard there, I don't know how to fix that, but the glove box is sort of separated from the dash. I'll have to get that sorted. And now that the clutch is taken care of, I'm at least content that I'll be able to get a lot of trouble-free, worry-free miles out of it, as long as there's nothing else that was, we'll just say, not entirely disclosed to me at the time of purchase. Because honestly, this car was sold to me as a car that will need a clutch soon. And needing a clutch soon, and you're not going to make it out of the street without essentially losing your clutch altogether, is a very different story. So I was a little annoyed by that, but such is life. So now what do I have to do to make this car right? Other than that, it needs a paint correction, 100%. I don't know if I want to spend the money on it, but it either needs paint, wrap, or correction. And then I've got a little bit of body work on the front bumper, A, from where the license plate bracket was, but B, from where the deer impacted the car. That's got to be fixed, because, I mean, honestly, you gotta, like, it's pushed in a little bit. Hopefully it's a cheap fix, but it's a fix nonetheless. Other than the standard cleanup stuff, I cut the wires out. There was a V1 that was wired in here. That's now gone. And the last thing, and I don't know if it's entirely rational or not, but I was under the impression that this is a new factory clutch. I was under the impression that this car would shift as silky and buttery smooth as my Craigslist BMW. That was a really nice, smooth shifting car. But this is a little notch here, and I don't know if that is just because the transmission may be suffering a little bit, or whether or not that was just the design of the car. That was a little sportier. And I did notice, like, a couple of times when I went to shift into the third, that it shifted directly in the fifth. And I don't know if that's from the grinding of the gears a little too much, or if there's just something that the guy didn't tell me about with the transmission / clutch, that they were both on their way out, and that I'm now sort of gonna bear the brunt of that. But whatever ends up happening, I'm gonna document it. I'll keep you guys in the loop as to what happens. The convertible top was a little sluggish trying to take it down today. Hopefully that's not an issue, because that was never an issue before. And I was like, does my seatbelt have to be plugged in? Do the windows have to be down? Does the emergency brake have to be up? What's going on that I can't get this top down? But we'll see. So I'm happy with the purchase right now. I don't really have time to drive it so much. I'd like to get some miles on it, but I'm going to Europe on Monday, and I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time to get a good, nice week or two worth of daily driving on this thing. I can tell you, it's a fun, sporty car, and it's not an everyday car. When I say it's not an everyday car, I run it on 87 octane. It just says unleaded gasoline only. It doesn't say premium unleaded. So to me, it means if it doesn't say premium unleaded, I'll just put 87 into it and we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't imagine a car that makes this little horsepower needs premium gas, and I may be wrong there, but we'll see. But ultimately, there's not a lot that's going to be done to this car. There's not a lot I want to do, and I want to get some couple of 100 miles on it just to make sure that nothing is wrong with it, blow the cobwebs out of it. It's clean and it's a fun drivable car. The trunk is not big at all, so that makes it a little bit crippling. And I went to film with Jimbo in it earlier today, and I had a box I had to go bring the FedEx, and it didn't fit in the trunk and it only fit in the passenger seat, and that then made the car useless because there's no room behind the seat. It's a small little car. So it is what it is. Gas tank is small too, 13 gallons. So that's not really in its favor. I'm more of the longer range gas guy. I like when you can get 400, 500, 600 miles to the tank, and I don't see that happening in this thing. The third gear is actually catching a little bit better now. I don't know if it's because it's warmed up or just because who the hell knows. But there's your update. I got the repair work done for free, I'll be honest with you, but the actual repair should have probably cost about $1,500. Therefore, putting me in cash plus value exchange about $11,000 for the car as it sits. Probably needs another $1,000 worth of work to make it perfect, and then I think we're good to go, hopefully, if nothing major crops up. If I bought a car that ultimately needs a transmission, that's going to get a little bit pricier and make this transaction not the best purchase I've ever made, and I'll be a little annoyed by that, but such is life. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned if you want to see more with this car. Maybe I'll get some highway pulls in. I'll get on the car a little bit. And you know what, maybe before we jump out of here, let me do a quick pull of the car and see how it pulls and see if it's fun or not fun. I know it's not incredibly fast, but let's see how quick we can get it going. Alright, so quick is not a word I would use to describe it. It's peppy, but it's not quick. Okay, does have a little bit of horsepower. That was fun. And I could have rode that out, but there's a guy behind me and I live close to here, so I don't want to be a total dick. Alright, so it doesn't feel that quick on the pull, but it does roast them up pretty nicely, which means it would be a pretty decent donut machine. And you know what? Maybe I'll replace these tires in the spring. Maybe we'll toast these up, or maybe I'll ping Michelin, ding, 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 and be like, yo, Michelin, I think these tires don't have enough grip for me. Can you hook me up? And we'll see what happens. So, guys, I drove this car like 6 states without a clutch. Much better with a clutch, I assure you. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.